This video is proudly recorded and produced on OpenBSD. In this video, I am going to talk about why can't I help you with your OpenBSD problems. I am going to discuss this question from multiple aspects. So first of all, let me talk about the aspects by providing an example. So this aspect would be from the question, a person who asks the question and who is trying to actually find an answer aspect. So let's say somebody writes either privately through email or in the YouTube comment section and tells me that, hey OpenBSD guy, how I can actually get a better performance out of my AMD GPU on OpenBSD. Firefox seems to be very laggy, especially when I play YouTube videos. So what do you see a problem with this question? First of all, it doesn't have any context in it. What is your GPU specification? What is your machine setup look like? Why didn't you provide any logs? What approaches have you tried? Have you tried Firefox performance optimization? Have you tried to just test and enable hyperthreading to see things getting better? Have you tried, installing the latest current to see whether your problems is solved? Like, a lot of information, a lot of context about it is missing. And this is not going to help either the person who has a question and the person who's trying to answer the question. And in most of the cases, if I want to answer such a question, I have to actually answer it with a follow-up question. What have you done? And what is your machine specification? What is your hardware specification? And then also, can you give me the dmessage log to see what's happening? When it comes to the hardware and driver issues, another aspect of it is that I don't have the same hardware that you have in 99% of the cases. And if I don't have a same hardware, I cannot troubleshoot it properly. I cannot replicate the issue, and as a result, I cannot help you. When it comes to hardware selection, I am most of the time conscious and target to purchase something that is compatible with OpenBSD, especially if it comes with the low margin cost. Other than that, I cannot help. I really wish I would love to, but for example, in case of the AMD GPU drivers, I have no machines at my hand that has AMD GPUs. So in that case, I am in the blind spot and I cannot help you. The third thing is about statistics and probabilities. Let's say you are asking this question from me. I'm just only one person, and the chances of me being able to help you is very limited. Whereas if you ask your questions to a wider audience, the chances of you getting an answer would be higher, because probably somebody else's had already the similar problem or has gone through the similar experience, and as a result they can help you. Let's say if you are posting it on the mailing list, or if you are posting it in the Reddit forum, then you can get the answer, or you can actually sort of wish and hope that more people will see your question, and then as a result of it they can help you, or somebody else maybe has similar issues. The next aspect of it is that when you are dealing with me, I am not particularly an expert when it comes to OpenBSD. Probably I have to create a separate video on why I don't deem myself as an expert when it comes to the OpenBSD. But if you approach the community, in this case mailing list or Reddit, then you are dealing with the professionals. You are dealing with the top tier people in the OpenBSD community. You are dealing with the kernel developer, you are dealing with the driver developers, you are dealing with the package maintainers. You are dealing with people that are active and they are contributing actively to the OpenBSD, and they have a great track record in it, versus somebody like me who have never submitted a patch, who have never been involved in the community, and being more or less like a lone wolf in terms of OpenBSD. And for that one I have my own reasoning as well. If we switch the gear from the person who asked the question to the community, then that would be also another interesting topic to discuss. Allow me to elaborate. Let's say you approached me through either private email, which is 100% private and only our brothers and sisters on CIA and NSA can read it, or you actually come to me in the YouTube comment section. Assume that I managed to answer your questions, solve the problems. Have we thought about the next person with the similar issues? If it's in the email, the context and the information would be lost. If it would be in the YouTube comment section, the searchability of it is almost zero, unless somebody stumble upon it by chance or accident. Otherwise, you cannot find anything, or you cannot search the YouTube comment section with the Google search, or it will be extremely difficult. It doesn't help the community either. It doesn't help with building the community. Imagine that we didn't have a Stack Overflow as a software engineer. Probably I wouldn't even start working as a software engineer. Well, I cannot live without a Stack Overflow. Now maybe somebody will argue that, oh, we have a chat GPT, we can do that, it will be a replacement of a Stack Overflow. Alright, I can understand that, but 2 years ago, without the Stack Overflow, software engineering probably didn't make much of sense, especially when it comes to the niche areas such as JavaScript, Python, and stuff like that. So from this angle, if you are asking your question from the community, then it's traceable, then it's searchable, and the next people will have an easier life. And also from the people who try to help, they have an easier life too, because they don't need to repeat themselves multiple times. Whereas if you do it through the YouTube comment section, besides not being searchable, is not a suitable medium to have back and forth conversation, especially when it comes to the technical discussions. For example, it doesn't have the code block capabilities. I cannot syntax highlight things. It's just awful for this kind of thing. It's good for having an argument over political stuff maybe, because that goes actually to sort of like a black hole at the end of the day. But to have something that is traceable and basically searchable is awful things, and is not a good way to spread the knowledge and to build a community around it. To close this video, I would like to actually give you a couple of recommendations. First of all, prior to asking a question, I highly recommend you to just do a basic Google search or DuckDuckGo search or any search. Spend, let's say, half an hour, try to actually find your answer on the internet. Second of all, if you are going to ask a question either through the mailing list or Reddit, please provide enough sufficient context, and also exude the sign that you have done your own homework. For example, come with this very specific question, also provide enough context, give a log, and also give them what you have tried and didn't work and what errors that you received. Lastly, don't expect people to give you an answer. And also, please don't have this sort of mentality that make your problem other people's problem. Meaning that don't expect that you throw a piece of crap to the other side of the fence and then expect people to take that one and run with it and come back with let's say a gold puddle. So if you are going to ask a question, kindly do your own homework, do your own research, give these signals to the people that you have done it already and you were not just a lazy person in that regard. I have to be blunt a bit here, so apologies if you feel offended, and don't expect people to spend their personal time that they are not getting paid for anything, that they are not getting credit for anything, to actually go and solve the problems that you have. And don't go with this entitled attitude to the people. In addition to that, I would like also to give you a brotherly advice, let's say. Exercise how to ask a proper question and when to ask a question and how to formulate it and make it elegant and nice, because this is not just something that you need when it comes to dealing with the open source community or OpenBSD community. This is a life skill. If you are working in a corporation, you need to have this skill set under your belt, and you need to know when to ask a question, how to ask smart questions, and also leave a positive impression to the people that you are asking a question from. To close this conversation, I'm going to link an essay written by Eric Raymond, the author of Cathedral and Bazaar book. I highly recommend you to read that essay. It's a bit lengthy, but read it is going to help you when it comes to asking questions. And if I'm not mistaken, the title of it is How to Ask a Question in a Smart Way. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to take a moment to thank Patreon contributors: Grog with $30 generous, Stellar Orbit with $20 generous, OpenBSD Maximalist, Alexander M, Hogarth Hackscock, Monty, Russell Willis, OpenBSD Enthusiast, DM'd, John Collins, Liquid Mobius, and OpenBSD Curious, Sigter.